Awesome. Welcome. It's Monday again. Which means that we're ending Monday with the most Monday game ever, which is Forbidden Lands. The game where everything goes perfectly well and nothing bad ever happens to anybody. For those of you who may have caught our first few streams, you may notice that we have a new face down there, like way down at the bottom in the L-shaped chat windows. Say hello to everybody, Freddie.
Hi, I'm Freddie. It's good to see y'all, but not really. I don't see you.
It's good to have you here. If for no other reason, I mean, I love having you because you're my friend and I like playing games with you.
My friend.
But also, I have a feeling that you are going to increase the survivability of this group.
Which would be greatly appreciated.
I understand that it's been rough going for y'all. Am I correct?
It has been a time.
You're here with your magic, so we're good.
Right?
Awesome.
Nothing goes wrong with magic, right?
Nothing
Okay, cool.
ever goes wrong with magic.
Cool.
So let's start out. I know we have some things to sort of get to before I think everybody's character will meet yours, because the thing that makes the most sense to me is to have you meet up with everybody as they arrive in town. But that shouldn't take us too very long. So before we get there, would you mind giving us, like, introducing your character so that we will know who we are meeting?
Absolutely. Whenever and however you meet me, you will notice me by my distinct plethora of fur all over my face and body. Because I am a wolfkin. I am, one of those people who, did not get the, Norelco body groom.
Manscaped.
I am not manscaped at all. I'm a druid, so I think that also fits. I'm in every sense of the word crunchy. So
Wow.
Yeah. Also, I'm a healer. Is kind of the direction I'm trying to go. Also a poisoner, so I just don't want to get my little baggies mixed up when I meet.
That full spectrum of life you're dealing with on both sides. Yeah.
Yes.
I was gonna say, like, life and death, both part of nature. And if you could cause one, you should be able to cause the other, right?
Obviously.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that's how I see things.
Excellent. Cool. So hopefully I don't want to like force you to sit in silence the entire time. But there is a little bit of travel yet to do before our intrepid adventurers finish their trek back, ironically, to the place that they started.
By all means.
Back in the town of Crossing. It is currently the first quarter of the day on the 8th day. The 8th day of the month of Springrise. 5 years after the Blood Mists have left the land. I'm going to go ahead and switch us over to the map. Let's get centered right here, with the party just a little bit of travel south of the city of Crossing. I shouldn't say city, the town of Crossing. Only on the western bank of the River Wash. It is It is a warm spring day. As I was gonna say, as you awaken, but if I remember correctly, one of your number has yet to have slept.
Little bit of
Umlaut,
insomnia.
Umlaut, the punishment magnet, had to stay up all night because Nissel and Arland. If I get anything incorrect, please feel free to refresh my memory. But I think they got, as the kids say, fucked up. And had to like had to rest when they otherwise one of them would have been keeping watch, and poor Umlaut had to stay up all night to make sure nothing bad happened. Is that about accurate?
Pretty much, yeah. Umlaut is the party parent.
You're the Umlaut, the orc dad. That's
Or dad.
Yes. Yeah, let's start this game out pleasantly, because that's how it's going to stay. Is what's going to happen. So it's the first quarter of the day. Nissel and Arland, the goblin and halfling, respectively, wake up in the morning. Umlaut is already there, awake. And what would you like to do on the first quarter of the day?
Oh, do you want to sleep a little bit? We can pack up camp and I can get some breakfast for you ready when you wake up again.
No, let's just get to town.
All right, I won't argue with those bags under your eyes.
All right, so let's move over to travel. It sounds now this is an interesting question. Which hex do you want to be traveling to? Now, there is a river that passes through the hex immediately to your to the northeast here, but it's not a border. You can still cross that hex, and you have explored it. So technically, if you go there, you don't have to make a find the path roll.
That sounds amazing.
I mean, of course, you could head straight north and guarantee yourself that sweet XP for.
Well, I figure if we go northeast and then north,
Yep.
it'd be good anyway to get that one hex, because you only need one hex.
Sounds
for
good.
That is true. So, is anybody keeping watch?
Oh,
I'll keep watch.
yeah.
All right, and that leaves Arland and Umlaut. All you have to do is hike. Cool. So,
I pick up a stick because it's safer, and I'm like practicing. Like, it doesn't count as practice, I know, or training, but like he's like practicing like stabbing
right.
and like flipping and catching. And he's not very good at it right now, but he's practicing.
Okay. Nice. So on the first in the first hex, you pass through. I imagine, are you keeping to the river? Like it's the kind of the obvious, like, if you keep the river to your right, you can keep moving. You don't need to make a roll.
Nissel, look right over the river there. That's where you scared off the soldiers.
That is true. Like from here, you can like look across the river, and you can see like the back of the copse of trees. That the soldiers had been hiding behind. Freddie, you weren't here for that, but they stumbled upon some soldiers that had run afoul of a pair of minotaur, actually. It was It was almost a
Unfortunate.
peaceful resolution.
It went perfect.
It went.
So it
Perfect.
wasn't a peaceful resolution, is what you're saying.
Well, there's a dead Minotaur, and also some dead soldiers, if I remember right. But the rest of the
So
soldiers.
I mean, that's
escaped.
as good as peaceful, right?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
From what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Cool. So that's the first hex of the quarter day, and then you can go one more hex. Who would like to lead the way into the unexplored hex? I'm assuming that you're going north, although this hex is still open if you would like.
Do you guys think it's fair to say, unless he chooses not to, we just let Umlaut lead the way all the time?
Yep. Unless there's a compelling reason he should not.
I mean,
And
his
this'll
survival,
find
his actual ranks in the survival skill compared to us probably help.
That is true.
It's a huge difference.
That
All right.
is true. So, move to the north, and would you like to make the survival roll?
I sure would.
Yay!
No mishaps.
Very nice.
One moment, and that brings us to the second quarter of the day. It's about midday by the time that you get here, and the path is fairly clear. You know, if you continue on, that you will reach the village of Crossing sometime in the afternoon. Like the professional that I am, I do have to mute myself for just a moment, because the creature whose bedtime it is has just entered the room. So,
Oh,
give-
good. I
give-
have a
give
couple
me-
running
give me
around
one,
as well.
what
The
is it?
Minotaur?
Stall. Just
Okay.
keep people
Stall.
watching.
You are in
Dra-
a small
dra-
cottage.
yeah.
There is a fishing pole here. Exits are out.
Hey,
You going first, Freddy?
hey, everybody. How's the fishing going?
Take fishing rod.
You have a fishing rod.
Oh, we're playing Parsley. Okay. Go to river.
There is no river here. Exits are out.
Out.
You are on a garden path. There's a rose bush here. There's a small cottage here. Exits are north, south, and in. God, I'm digging way back in my memory for this one.
Look at Rosebush.
It's a beautiful rose bush. There's a rose in it.
Oh, no, I don't remember the directions.
I don't know the command. Oh no, I don't remember the directions.
Where can I go?
Exits are north, south, and in.
South.
You are at a fishing pond. Exits are north.
Go fishing.
Go fishing with what?
God damn you.
Use fishing rod.
Use fishing rod on what?
Take fishing rod.
You have the fishing rod.
Use fishing rod on pond.
You catch a fish.
I fight the
Woo!
fishing rod.
I don't know that command.
Take fish.
You have a fish.
Eat fish.
You're not hungry.
North. Oh, wait.
You are
not
on a
north.
garden. You are on a lush garden path. There's a rose bush here. Exits are north, south, and in.
Go north.
You are on a winding path. There is a tall tree here. Exits are south, east, and up.
East.
You are on a bridge. On the bridge stands a troll. He looks angry. Exits are east and west.
Is that troll named Sean Hayworth?
Save.
Saving game. Please wait.
All right. I apologize for that, but thank you for the rousing game of Action Castle, man.
Action Castle.
Action, castle.
I do love Action Castle. All right, so yes, it is the second quarter day, and are you just heading straight to into town?
Straight down.
Straight to town.
You should go curved.
Just curve around as you
Walk
step
around it like Jericho.
to the town of Crossing. You recognize when you have arrived by the two large stone bridges that cross on either side of the River Wash. An east bridge and a west bridge. It'll actually be a little bit easier if I do this.
Oh, we got another map. I do not own any token with vision in this scene.
You do not. Let me.
It's a black scene.
Oh no, I didn't realize that I had it.
I am likely to be eaten by a grue.
You are likely to be
Oh,
eaten by a
God.
grue. Oh no, hang on. Let me fix that. I configured
now I
things.
see a little bit.
I configured things poorly.
It's getting better.
I can see clearly now.
You can see everything now. Are we good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That was actually a legit mistake. I did not want to do that. Well. Sorry, I'm watching the map on stream like get all wonky, and that's fine. So you find yourselves on the western bank of the River Wash. Since everybody is kind of from here, in one way or another, as we go, feel free to ask any questions. It's all stuff that you know and that you recognize. I say as I bring up my notes.
Which god is Worm again?
So Worm, and Freddie, this is something that is known, like general knowledge, right? When the humans came from the east to these lands, the stories say that they followed a raven carrying a snake that led them to a safe place for their ships to land, and many people worship Worm, which is the snake, as kind of the avatar of the protector god. Others disagree and worship Raven and say that Raven was the god and the worm was a holy creature. Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yep. And then there is yet a third faction. In fact, one of the more powerful factions in the Forbidden Lands, who claim that the Raven was made of iron and the snake was made of wood, and so they worship the gods Rust and Rust's wife Heme. Or Hemi. I can never figure out how it's supposed to be pronounced. But they are that faction is the Rust brothers, and they are zealous and feared throughout the lands. In any case, you all arrive at Crossing at about midday on the 8th. It's you've been gone for what, like a week or so?
Yeah.
Just about. And so there's that initial sense of like returning to the familiar. Across the river at the other side of the bridge, you can see there's a guard tower sitting on each side, like next to the bridge on the kind of the town side, and you can see a figure up there looking out. It's a pretty long way away, and you can see, like, from the little motions that it makes in the distance that it's probably spotted you. It's, everything's been cleared away at the ends of the bridges, right? Because nobody wants to be surprised by, oh crap, suddenly there's people on the bridge, right? But it's also a little bit far for people to talk from that distance. And you can also see some of the familiar features, the mill that sits at the southern banks near the village. You can see the curl of black smoke from the dwarven woman's blacksmith shop. I have names for things, but now I'm forgetting them all. Sorry. So, Solista. That's the name of the blacksmith. Yeah. It's coming home. If nothing else. All right.
So this is where everyone is from, is what you're saying?
Yes, this is where we started. We started off with everybody leaving the town of Crossing to go adventuring, and now this is the first time that you've come back in about a week.
Okay.
And I think Tornald is probably there's an inn. There's one inn in town called the Mug and Druid. And it's a little bit crowded. What's that?
He's the druid.
You are. Actually, everybody's a little bit surprised. Like it's a joke that there's finally a druid in the Mug and Druid, because there hasn't been one in there in years.
Like
as long as
I need to order an ale and just be sitting there with a mug of ale.
Yeah.
But the bandits who have moved in have taken to calling it the Mugga Druid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes.
No, they wouldn't, Neil, but they should.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because I think so when you rolled into town, Tornald, like at first everything seemed normal, and then you realize that everybody is terrified by the town militia. And just from listening to people, you've figured out that, like, over the last couple of years, this like gang of bandits basically came in and just took over the town, because nobody could stand up against them. Like, they were just too organized.
About how many bandits are there?
Few dozen, maybe. This map isn't perfectly representative of how many people actually live here. There's space for a couple hundred people in Crossing. So yeah, there's maybe 20 of them, 19 or so now since Umlaut left the band. Which is what we'll get to as soon as the group of you cross over the large bridge into town, and you hear like the voice from the watchman up on the tower, call out a challenge. as you step into town, who goes there? State your names, travelers.
Can I recognize who it is, like by name?
Yeah, you can. You're gonna make me come up with a name, aren't you? Jerk.
Clive.
Clive? Sure, Clive's a good name.
Clive, it's Clive. What other halfling, orc, and goblin have come through town lately? It's us.
Yeah. You don't even have to roll reputation because everybody does know who you are. Although, like, you can see, number one, the unmistakable glint of sunlight, like, bouncing off the point of a crossbow bolt from up there. And Clive shouts down, it's the minstrel and his friends and the goblin. So you've come back, huh?
Got some stories to tell.
And he looks down at you and he's like, stories are fine things, but coins in coin purses are better. Don't think that just because you're a local, it exempts you from paying the road toll.
What is the road toll?
He goes, 3 copper each, and then looks down and he says, wait, no, you've brought the orc back. You get the deserter's discount. Did it? For you, it's 3 silver.
Deserter?
He says, you were one of us and you left, Umlaut.
I was sent to scout.
Oh, were you?
No.
No. Nice. That sounds like you're trying to manipulate him.
I'd like to help him by saying, yeah, we're his support. How do you expect us to do our job if we have to pay every time we come back into town?
Nissel's absently reaching into his empty quiver.
just like instinctively.
His arrow. Yeah, just.
Nice. Yeah. You want to make a manipulation roll?
All right, so I get a +1 for the help.
You do get a +1 for the help.
We're gonna nail this. The 2 dice.
Oh, rad.
You know we're pushing that. Oh, I don't need to. Wait, what was that? Oh, that was his insight.
That's his insight.
Is that right?
Oh God. So if I push, it doesn't matter. I'm pushing anyway. All right, let me get. Oh wait, wrong thing.
Oh.
I clicked the wrong thing.
Oh, no. Go ahead and let me delete that. Go ahead and
push on your manipulation. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Oh,
Since-
still
since it
didn't
was-
quite get it.
No, it's a 1 though, right?
But
That's
it's a,
one
a
success,
push.
Do we have to beat him or tie?
You have to beat him.
Can I attempt to? No, never mind.
Hang on. Yeah. He like he laughs down at you, right? Like he's like scout to fill your pockets with treasure. He says, we'll call it 1 silver and be good. And then you hear like the click of a crossbow. Like,
Despite the fact that I know you couldn't hit me from there, I'll still pay.
yeah, and he like, you're from here. You know the routine. There's like a little like lidded bucket that's tied to the base of the watchtower. And he points down, it in the bucket, and don't think to shortchange us. We'll count.
You can't count. I go over and put the silver in anyway.
Nice. Yeah. So, who among you has the best eyesight?
The wolf.
My wits and
Yeah.
scouting is a total of 3.
Yeah, this is. I'm just curious. This isn't actually something that you have to roll for. I was just figuring out who was probably the one that would have noticed. Maybe you. I think it's nice and sunny out. So Nissel, your eyes are
I don't see squat. Yeah.
yeah, not accustomed to this. So you notice, Arlen, that Clive is wearing like there's something flapping in the wind, in the slight breeze, and you can see this like kind of long yellow piece of fabric wrapped around his neck like a scarf. And it's one of those things that like you know for a fact that wasn't a thing when you left. So like, okay, maybe it was something that he picked up, and then as you go to pay the tolls, if you choose to pay the toll, looking past into the village where other people are walking around, you can see that they're all wearing similar, like, brightly colored scarves.
What's with the fancy new wardrobe, Clive? I'll say, like, as I go up and drop the coins in.
He says, oh, you haven't been here. Keeps the hounds away. And he kind of looks, as he says the hounds, he like looks like he's making sure nothing is looking at him, and he's like, I'd recommend staying inside at night if I were you. They've gotten a few of us. Big black beasts come out at night. Eyes glow like the full moon. It's the only way you could see them. I saw one once. It says, once. I ran inside. Had to change my trousers.
How does a yellow scarf protect you from them?
He shrugs, and he says, so far since we've been wearing them, ain't none of them gotten us yet.
Did you start wearing them around the same time you all started staying indoors at night?
He says, well, I mean, yeah, but that only makes sense. It was old Myrrel, who is the old lady that kind of cares for the for the shrine to Worm. She is not by any means like any kind of actual priest. She's just like the old woman who kind of keeps the place up.
Is she respected in town?
She's respected for her age and accumulated wisdom, but she's not like considered like a wise person or anything like that. But she's kind of the go-to for like old folks' wisdom, right?
Okay.
He said he's like, yeah, she said that she'd heard about similar things, and that pieces of bright clothing keep them at bay. He says, so far it's worked. I recommend that you stop by the market, pick yourself up some. Better safe than sorry. And he flips it over his shoulder.
Meryl's in the pocket of big textiles. Well, should we go sell our stuff first? Blue Mountain Missile? And then split our rewards?
I was gonna say, due to my familiarity with the bandits of this town, that I should perhaps do the selling. But given the greeting at the gate, I may not be the best person for the job.
I could do it.
Yeah. So I think, I guess when I was prepping, I probably should have, looked up the rules for this. But I'm pretty sure that you could just sell it for whatever.
Is there haggling to get more for what it's worth more?
Like a manipulation roll or something.
Or a performance roll to tell them the amazing story behind it?
That is a good question. Let's see. The book doesn't really say.
The only thing that mentions it, I think, right off the top of my head is
I think if you have a talent.
The peddler can do it.
Oh, okay. So that's like literally their
thing.
It makes sense that no one else could do it then, because you don't want to.
Yeah.
Take their thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's pretty much like you exchange any treasure that you have for coin if you choose to. I mean, you can keep it as whatever.
19 silver for the falchion.
16.
16, and then 3 copper for the little statue.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, would have been a gold for the rug.
Damn it.
Rug. That stupid rug.
So we each would get 5 silver and 4 copper, and one of us would get an extra copper. Umlaut, you found the sword. You can get the extra copper. How's that?
Works for me. I've got a sword to fix.
Nice.
Yeah, Nissel just needs arrows. He's not too worried about.
Sean, if we have excess of copper, is it okay to just convert it into silver, or because of weight, is that a thing we have to?
No, you can just convert it. It's fine.
6 silver, you guys. This is the richest I've ever been.
The most money you have ever had.
Party at the tavern.
Sorry, we got how much again?
5 silver. Woo! And you get 5 copper. On top of that.
I'm loaded.
Yeah, I mean, you're loaded until you have to go and pay for things, right? Yeah. Unlike certain other role-playing games, this game actually has an economy, kind of. Cool. Yeah. I'm sure everybody watching is going to be like, "Rad, a shopping episode," but it's part of the game. Going to town and resupplying and doing all that stuff is a thing. And also, I hate role playing through like everybody going to buy things. It's literally the worst. So
yeah.
So go ahead and just anything that's listed in the gear that's listed as common, you can just find. It's totally fine. If it's uncommon or rare, then rolls have to be made to see if it's available. And I believe that there's rolls to see, like, if you need something specific, like a teacher for a talent or something along those lines. That also requires a roll to see if it's available.
Right.
So while the rest of you are kind of figuring out what you want to spend your hard-earned treasure on, Tornald,
Yes.
as we said, you're in the Mug and Druid.
Druid with a mug and the mug and druid.
Druid with the mug in the Mug and Druid. None of the bandits have tried to mug you yet. Although they all keep giving you the side eye because
Can I stick out or something?
yeah, you're A, new in town, B, you're wolfkin, and it's unclear as to whether or not you are going to eat everybody else or not.
I want to keep it that way.
The innkeeper, Torin, has been terse and kind of grouchy, like as he's served you food and drink. He's like that with everybody. Like you see other folk coming in, like, you know, bandits coming in after a shift on watch and getting their drink. Like he treats them the same. There's a couple of people. I guess I should ask you, how long have you been here in town?
I showed up just a couple days ago,
Okay.
and I've stayed I've stayed 2 nights at the inn.
Nice.
Yeah.
So did you get a chance to see the creatures that stalk the streets outside at night? Or
No, but I can smell them.
you should be able to smell them. I'm assuming by that statement that you've gone out and tried, and it's one of those things that either somebody's lying, although like everybody, including the bandits, are terrified of going out at night. So, like, if somebody's lying about it, it's very convincing. Or there's something else going on that makes them leave no scent, because you have picked up no trace of them.
So that I do not smell them.
You do not smell them.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yes, and you should, if they were some kind of
So I've
natural creature.
I have gone out, yes, because I'm naturally curious if there's something out in the wild that's unnatural. I want to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to also assume if I couldn't smell them, I didn't see anything either.
Possibly not. If you are interested, you can make a lore roll based on like the rumors that that you have heard.
A lore roll?
Yes.
How do I do that? Oh, I see it under wits there.
Yep.
Click
And
on that.
If you just click on the word lore, it should automatically like roll everything that is.
Okay, I've got a 0. Let's see what happens. And it'll just bring up my wits number, and that's it.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Okay. So, oh yeah, this is your first time playing this game. So,
Yes, it is.
I will explain this to you.
Okay.
The important numbers to look for on the dice are 1s, which will show up as skulls, and 6s, which will show up as crossed swords. On your initial roll, as long as you get 1 success, it is successful. If you do not, it is a failure.
Okay.
But If it fails, you have the option to push the roll, and that means you pick up everything that's not a 1 or a 6 and re-roll it. But at that point, the skulls do they do damage to your stats.
Okay, so the first roll, the skulls are essentially meaningless, but they stay if you want to push it.
Yes.
And then they will count.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you see them there, you will be able to be like, oh, if I push this roll to succeed, I am guaranteed to take this much damage.
Right.
Getting those skulls also is how you get willpower.
Oh,
You take damage and you also take willpower.
Okay.
And you cannot push a roll that you have succeeded on unless getting more successes would actually have an effect. In this case,
I could not push
right.
because I've already succeeded, and
Because-
that's as successful as I can get.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then I will not push.
Cool. So yeah, you actually have heard of creatures that resemble the stories that people have told about whatever is attacking people at night. The rumor is that there was some hermit that worshipped the Nightwalker, who was one of the gods. Tried to enlist his deity to create beasts to fight the demonic creatures that were plaguing the land 300 years ago, and the result was disastrous. And what they had called forth instead was something called a night warg, which are packs of dogs made out of solidified shadows that have appeared here and there throughout the land, basically attacking indiscriminately. They are rumored to have they leave no tracks. Their bites freeze the flesh to ice so that no blood falls from the wounds. Those in some cases, people who are killed by them are never found again. But from the stories you've heard from the townsfolk, that sounds like the description matches, like large black on black creatures that you can only see by their shining eyes in the dark.
Okay. I don't know if I've seen that.
I doubt that you have ever actually seen one.
No. I mean, if it's solidified shadow, I think you're right. That doesn't smell like anything.
Yeah. They're what's the word? Horrifying creatures.
That's a good word for it. Yes. Okay. Guess I have a general idea what to look for in the middle of the night.
Yeah, in case you want to go looking for, those things.
Scary shit.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah. So, has everybody shopped? Does anybody have questions?
Real quick,
Mm-hmm.
We also got, I just remembered this, we got 2 pelts from the boar that Umlaut brought down.
Oh, that's
A
true.
boar, and they're 8 copper each, so that's 16 copper, so we each get another 5 copper, and Nissel, if you want the spare one this time, you can have an extra copper.
All right.
So if you need items repaired, the dwarf Solista is willing to take it. Although she has. So there's no haggling on price, right? But the smithy is also like there are piles of like work that are stuff that normally like gets hung on pegs to kind of go in the job queue, like farming implements and like weapons are like bent and bird weapons are like sticking out of barrels, and like some stuff is just like scattered on the floor. Like the poor woman looks super overworked.
Yeah, I need to get my sword fixed.
Yeah, and she glares up as you bring it to her, and she looks and then like kind of thumbs in the direction of like one of the many like overflowing barrels, and says, well, it'll have to go in the pile with the rest of them.
Whoa, Celissa, come on. How often have you had to repair my gear? You know I take good care of it. These other fools will have their crap all dinged up and back in your shop within a fortnight.
She looks at your short sword like dubiously, right? Like, yeah, it's gonna take some work. How do you want to approach this? Do you want to try and convince her to take it, or do you want to try and bribe her to take it?
Umlaut is not charming anyone, except with his coin. So nice. I think he's going to have to go that route. So I think we worked out earlier that it was going to be 3 silver and 6 copper.
Right.
Just like the usual. He's going to offer like 4 additional copper.
Okay.
To like jump in the queue.
Nice. Cool. She like she looks at it for a minute, and then like looks to make sure that none of the other bandits are around, and she very quickly like swipes up the coin, and grabs your short sword, and she like stops for a second and looks at you, and is like, "You're not wearing one of them fancy scarves like the rest of them, huh?"
You know me, I've never been too into those superstitions.
She says, "You ain't been around lately. I haven't seen you come by. Haven't seen you on watch. I try and keep an eye on Gallivin, who, by the way, is the half-elf that is the leader of the bandits." She's like, "Try to keep an eye on who Gallivin is sent her to watch the town. You've been gone by the look of your that extra growth of beard," and points to your broken fingers.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this isn't the marks of a bar fight, Celissa. I didn't do that to my sword in the bar. You would know.
Yeah. She goes, so Gallivin sent you out, huh?
In a manner of speaking.
What manner would that be?
He didn't send me.
She's like, well, that's a hell of a manner.
Do you want to hear the amazing tales?
She says, maybe another time, and she like looks around again to make sure nobody's around, and she says, are you planning on staying here in town long?
I can trust you, right, Solista?
She she says, well, that depends. I mean, you can trust me with your coin, and you can trust me with your blades. I suppose that's as much trust as I can promise. But if you trust me, I'll trust you.
Is there something you want me to bring you back next time?
She says, something. She's like, what I need is to get out a message.
Do you want to write it on a piece of parchment?
Gods no. I need it to be secure. Last thing I need is one of Gallivan's fucking idiots. No offense. Catching one of you and finding it.
No, I traveled with them. I know all too well. Yeah, where does the message need to go?
She says there's like she leans in conspiratorially, and is like, I've been in contact with some folks from down south. I'm a little tired of Gallivan and all of his, and she like gestures to the sheer amount of like crap work that the bandits have dumped on her. She's like, I'm a little tired of all this. I may have asked some folks for a hand, but with the troubles at night, I haven't been able to give them the signal to come in and take care of some of these things.
I see.
She says there's a group of folk hiding out in the woods to the east. They call themselves the Bone Ferrets. She says like they come from a river town a ways south of here, called Grindbone. Probably not a place you've heard of. They have an old grudge with Gallivan. I need you. I need somebody I can trust to get a message to him. Explain what the delay is and keep them from moving on from here.
I could do that. It'll have to get in line behind all the other messages I'm delivering.
Yeah, she's like, don't pull this bullshit with me. I'll fix your blade.
I think there's a matter of 4 copper.
She slides back 2.
Fair enough.
She says, yeah, you can come pick up your blade tomorrow afternoon. I'll put it at the head of the line.
You're an angel.
She says, one piece of advice: don't those bone ferrets. They're useful for this sort of thing, but I wouldn't trust them.
They're called bone ferrets.
She says, well, I mean,
trusting them was not ever an option.
I can't. there's no accounting for the taste of tall folk. Sorry.
No offense taken.
I just figured it was something that humans called themselves occasionally. Just anyway.
Maybe humans.
Yeah, she shrugs. Anyway, take care. I appreciate it. And then she looks at the pile of shit that she has to do. She's like, I should probably get started on this.
Umlaut just like nods and makes his way back over to the Mugged Druid.
Nice. Mugged Druid. That is pretty good. Cool. Anything else anybody else needs to handle?
I gotta buy arrows. I gotta buy all the arrows.
You gotta buy all the arrows.
Yeah. Well, I just need to get one quiver of arrows.
just one.
Is there a cost, a price for rations somewhere? The only thing I could think of is like buying fresh food and then using my chef ability on it. I didn't see like
Let's see.
buying a dye type of food.
That would be under probably trade goods.
Yeah, I went up and down trade goods and didn't see anything about like a day's ration kind of thing, or like a.
I think it just sells by a unit of food. Let's see. So, arrows are common. So it's 12 copper for a unit of arrows, or 6 if you want to go with wooden arrows.
No, I don't want to go with wooden arrows. So for a unit, it's 12 copper.
Yep.
So for a full quiver, it would have to be
4 units. That would be 48.
Or silver 8 copper.
Yep. Field ration, 1 silver.
Is it? Did I just like look over it completely?
You were probably looking under R for ration and not F for field.
I'm sorry, guys. You said 4 silver and how much copper?
8.
I'm gonna be a cheap bastard. I'm gonna buy vegetables and just cook them.
Oh, good call.
Nice.
In fact, if you guys want to do that, you buy just vegetables or meat or whatever you want, give it to me, and I'll throw it all in and cook it together.
I've still got leftover boar.
That is true.
I'll go to the Muggin Druid.
All right. Is everybody just meeting up there after?
Oh, do they have studded leather caps? Because I want to get a hat like Umlaut's. Nicole really wants to get the headgear the same as him. He's been eyeballing it.
It is an uncommon item, which means I have to make a roll. I just can't remember exactly what roll I have to make.
D6, and if it's a 4 or higher. And then rare is a D6 on a 6.
Oh, there is indeed one available at the Smiths. Yes.
Oh, Nissa wants to buy that as well.
Let's see. Studded leather cap is 3 silver.
Okay, he wishes they had 2 so he could have got one for the cloud, but it's okay. They'll share. They'll take turns.
Got little ear holes in it.
Just ruins it immediately, just so we can have it on the wolf's head.
Yeah. So that's actually a good question. Is what do you do with Cloud while you're in town? Like
He's mounted riding Cloud around in town.
I think because you're from here, right? Like people are used to you riding the wolf around.
Sure, yeah.
And like there's not like buildings that are stores. People kind of sell their wares like out in front of their house or at stalls like kind of in the square. It's not like you go into the fantasy Walmart. So it's usually not a big deal, but when it comes to like going to the inn, they're not big on large predatory animals that might be on the floor. they're barely tolerant of a goblin who may also be on the floor.
Yeah. Is the wolfkin inside?
The wolfkin is inside, and if it wasn't for the fact that they were wearing clothes,
Nissel tries
Wait.
to put pants on Cloud.
Crunchy clothes,
Is-
as per the druid's own description.
Crunchy clothes.
I mean, it's barely closed, but yeah, it's closed.
it's close because humans like have problems when you don't wear them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
What's
like to
going
get it. I like to get an ale every once in a while, so you gotta, no pants, no service type thing.
Nice.
I mean, it would be one of those situations where I think Nissel would attempt to just walk Cloud in, like it's not a big deal. But if it was an issue where they
Yeah,
Where
like
where
as
that
soon as you
happened- where
as
they
soon
happened
as you
before,
try,
and they're like, hey, listen, this
like-
is you know how this works.
yeah, Torin, who everybody knows, right? Like everybody knows Torin. He owns the only like inn and place to get a drink in town. Is like nope, out, you get that thing out of here.
We don't
Both their
serve
ears
your
go
kind
back.
here.
Yeah, both their ears go back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess Cloud will have to wait outside. It probably takes Nissel and Cloud a good amount of time just to separate in this small manner. So Nissel probably goes, to tell Cloud sit down. Cloud doesn't sit down. Nissel says good boy. Nissel pets Cloud. They nuzzle for a bit. He goes to the door. He comes back. He goes to the door. He comes back. And then he goes through the door.
Yeah. I think what's really happening is that Cloud is like waiting for you to do the behavior that it wants you to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he's not responding at all. He just stands there while he does this nonsense.
Yeah. And then like lays down just like in the dirt outside. Cool. So the Mugam Druid is a cozy little establishment. I think we're getting into the third quarter of the day as the sun is starting to go down. So of course, as you step in, much like I described to Tornald, like there's a kind of a motley collection of folk that have come in for food or drink. Although like the people who aren't like staying here are, as you come in, like look out and see the sun starting to set, like see it getting dark, and like either finishing their drink and food real quick and booking it, or just leaving it where it is and trying to get home before dark.
Before the third quarter, could I try to do something, Sean?
What would you like to do?
I was gonna ask Torin if I could, in exchange for playing music when the sun was going down, if I could borrow his kitchen for a little bit, just to cook my own food, and then in return, I would play for his patrons.
Yeah, you would have to play first and then cook later, because cooking takes an entire quarter day, right?
That's why I was hoping I could do it the quarter day before, or before the night falls.
Right.
If not, that's fine.
Yeah, well, I mean, because you spent the rest of the time shopping, right?
All I really bought was vegetables. I was just gonna plan on buying vegetables and cooking them up.
Gotcha. Yeah, he's pretty grumpy about these sorts of things. But you can try and convince him, if you would like. Either. I mean, if you're not straight up offering to rent time in his kitchen, then it'll take some convincing.
Yeah, full on trade. No money, just trade. Like I'll play for.
With a one.
Come on, I tell a good story. I play a mean loot.
Yeah, and he like Like he makes a big show of like tapping his foot behind the bar.
It'll keep more patrons around. They'll be buying more drinks.
And then finally he's like, all right, fine, but you put everything back exactly where you found it, and you do not move the soup from over the heat. It's the
I
one
know my
good
way around
fucking
the
thing in
kitchen.
this town.
Is it really a good thing? Does he
Yeah,
make a good soup?
yeah. He makes he like it's got an incredibly unappetizing name. It's called blood soup, but it's
Sounds delicious.
yeah, it's actually like it's like really good and really rich, and he doesn't give the recipe to anybody, because it is legitimately like the one thing that this town has going for it.
The soup.
Is the soup. Like it's the soup and the fact that it sits in like it when the sun hits this town just right because of where it's situated at the fork of the two rivers, like it's actually really pretty. Like it's pretty and picturesque. It's just that like you don't get a lot of tourism when everything's been covered by, you know, a crimson mist for 300 years, and B, like scummy ass bandits have taken over your town. But yeah, like if you want to spend
So I only bought 3 units of vegetables, but I basically could make up to 7 units of food, but I only had 3 vegetables, so that'll max out my food.
there you go. Cool. So I think by the time that Umlaut and Arland are come back, like get in and like get settled, and Arland is sorry, I meant Umlaut and Nissel. I'm starting to get confused by everybody's names already. You know, come in and get settled. Like all of the locals are booking it the fuck out, right?
The locals are like rushing out.
Yeah, because they don't want to like they come here for a drink and for the soup, but as soon as the sun starts going down, the night orcs come out, and nobody wants to be caught out after dark. So they'll like wrap their big ostentatious scarves around their necks for protection, and try and like get out and get home before the sun goes all the way down. And before long, it's the 3 of you and the the Wolfman over in the corner.
I'm kind of scrounging at some of the food that was left behind.
Yeah, it smells delicious, by the way.
It's perfectly good food. I don't know why they would leave it behind.
Yeah. The ale is watered down piss, right? Like
Yes.
it's bad beer.
Enough of it, and it does its job, and that's all I can say for it.
Yeah, and since they took the time to brew it, like you know that the water won't make you sick. Like it's something that you know for a fact is safe to drink because it's been boiled.
Yes.
But
As has the soup.
yes, yeah, the soup is actually really, really good.
Is there a back door to this place?
Yeah. There's a couple of doors to this place.
Nissel would be looking around for a door that he could let Cloud in because he's not going to leave him outside. He's just constantly looking at windows and doors and trying to figure out which is going to be the most opportune
Yeah. So
entrance to get him in.
yeah, it's like, so the Mugged Druid is probably the biggest like building in town, not counting things like the mill, right? It's actually like got an extra story, where all the private rooms are. You know, it's a big downstairs. You know that there is a door to the kitchens in the back, and the front door. And there's also because you have lived here, like the building has a root cellar, so there's a cellar door that you could get in. I think the trick would be sneaking through while Torin's not paying attention.
Yeah.
So aside from Tornald, there's also a woman who looks like she's been traveling a lot, who has said nothing, and Tornald, in all the time that you've been here, she has said nothing. Everybody just kind of assumes that she's mute. You know, she's basically like ordered, you know, what food she's gotten through grunts and hand gestures. It does does her best to not be noticed. There's also a pair of travel worn dudes that look like probably some kind of like sellswords or soldiers that you don't necessarily recognize, Tornald. However, the other three of you do recognize.
I was about to ask about our friends.
Yeah. So it is. Let me find his name. Aaron.
Can you spell that?
Arren. Yeah, Aaron the soldier and just one of his troop. They look like the week that you since the last time you saw them has been hard on them. And they are kind of huddled over in one corner of the room, kind of talking in hushed voices to themselves. They haven't really noticed you. Do you?
I will immediately, like, when I go up on stage to start performing, I'll be like, Aaron, friend.
Nice. Okay. Before that, because I do want to get to that.
Okay.
For those of you who have not yet rested and eaten today, are you paying for food? Or are you eating your rations?
I'm gonna eat my rations.
We go rations.
Okay.
It's my already. Yeah, I'm eating my rations.
Nice.
Aw,
Water.
you gotta drink water too.
Unless you want to pay for a drink.
What's one of the watered down piss ales?
Let's see.
I'm out of food, by the way.
Yeah. Already out of food.
I'm out of water, by the way.
Dang. Let's see. So
Does this town have a well?
there is a
Just
well.
making a mess of his food and water because he's so
Yep.
worried about clouds outside.
So a flagon of ale is 2 copper. A bowl of stew is 3 copper. If you want to eat, each of these covers like your normal like daily need for these things.
Okay, Uma
Okay.
will have an ale.
Okay.
Can I take a look at Nissel? Looking at his bare pack without any food, and I have some of the scrounged extra food that I kind of was gonna eat, and I kind of slide it over to him. Here.
Yeah, Nissel will look up for a second and then immediately eat whatever is in front of him. And while he's doing
friend, no, he did have food. He just ate it all already, and now you just. Oh, okay, he's got more. Okay, there he goes.
He stuffs some in his pockets awkwardly for the wolf outside.
The
later.
soup, like you pour some of the soup in your pocket.
Yeah, you know, pocket soup.
This is my
Mm.
soup pocket.
He puts it in his new leather cap.
Oh God, yeah. It's watertight. Well, it's
Thank you for
it's
your
not.
kindness, friend.
What was that?
Thank you for your kindness.
Looks like we're all travelers here, or we're travelers.
So as you're having this exchange, Torin comes over with ale for everybody who is ordered, and sets it down at the table. He says, "So it's been a busy time for adventurers coming through. You and he looks almost embarrassed, like he's about to ask like an awkward question, and he's like, how is it out there? Is it exciting? You got any good stories? I mean, I know the halfling's got stories. He's always got stories. That's what he does. But I feel bad because Umlaut is the one with like visible injuries. So he like looks down at your broken fingers and is like, you've been out there then?
Yeah.
Out in the world? Is it?
I'm sure the halfling's gonna sing about Mike the moribund minotaur or whatever it was.
Harcoot the miserable minotaur, and I start playing it.
Damn it.
Yeah. But Aaron like looks up, and like as soon as you start singing the song, like you see him just go pale. Because his friend died, right? Like, but
This is when Nissa
But
will sneak away for
The
that.
song
for
is
that
about how the
door.
minotaur was miserable and an idiot
well, yes.
and
Yeah.
lost to brave soldiers.
Yeah.
It was hardly the worst thing we found.
Torin is like, I've been thinking about going out myself. He is a large, and but rotund dude. He's like the stereotypical innkeeper, right? Like big portly guy. He's probably in his late 20s. But he's like, I've my family, we come from the west, Asleen, from back in the day, back during the older wars. I heard tell that the old sorcerer king's son, Sartorme, has been gathering a host of my people out east. I was thinking about maybe joining up with them.
Oh. So humans decided to fight for themselves for once.
Yeah, he's laid out now. Listen. I'll have you know that my people have a very proud and noble tradition as horsemen. By the way, everybody knows that this guy inherited this inn from his father. Like, he has never been out of town. And he's
Sorry, was that horsemen?
like he glares down at you and like,
Horsemen?
here's your rail. And he like turns around crestfallen.
Is Torin a man or a dwarf?
Torin's a man. Like
Okay,
he's
for some reason I thought he was a dwarf.
no.
Okay. I'll say Torin, why do you suddenly want to leave your inn? It's comfortable. You've got money coming in.
Like he like fixes you with a glare and is like, you spend your time pouring ales for bandits and miscreants, and like kind of to the general like common room when he says miscreants, like no offense intended.
Mal just kind of raises his mug and takes a swig.
Yeah, he's like, I was never meant for this life. I was meant for something bigger.
I kind of do. I says,
How have you let the Scourge run the town?
I was wondering if there's something we could do about that.
Wait, what's that? Sorry.
How have you let the Scourge run the town? All these fools with their scarves around their heads.
He says, well, I've been busy and obligated. Yeah, this was my dad's place, but it's not mine. No, I'm going east. You're not looking for a fourth. If you head that way, I mean, I could go with you. I'm handy with a spear.
Keep that in mind.
How are you with the darkness out there? I hear there's glowing eyes. They don't leave tracks.
Yeah.
They don't leave a scent.
He says,
Is
"Ghost
that something you can take down for us?
ghost
All of
dogs."
us here in this room?
I don't believe in no ghost dog.
Oh. Would you be willing then to help this young goblin out to the well to fill up his water skin?
He like, well then who would watch the inn? Well, I was going, not you. This is my dad's place. I can't just leave it in the hands of strangers.
Ireland.
I promise you, I won't thieve it away and put it into my pocket while you're out at the well.
You want to convince this guy to
I'll help too. I'll say like, Torin, I can watch the place while you're gone. I know how to serve the soup and the ale. You're not going to be gone longer than a couple minutes anyway.
How about you go on an adventure? Is that a manipulation?
I mean, we can see the well from the window right here, Torin.
Yeah. And like it's late enough now that like the sun has properly gone down.
Anyone wishing to join us on adventures must prove themselves first.
So I gotta help. Okay.
Yeah. So when you get help, you list it as a modifier.
That'd be 1.
Yep.
It'd be really awkward if we get this guy killed.
Oh man.
I mean, he's gonna do it himself.
He got no successes. He's like, yeah, all right. You goblin, you get yourself ready. And he goes. He's like, I'll be right back. And he like pulls his like the towel off of his shoulder. And runs to the back. And you hear some clanging of like pots and stuff falling from the back room, and he comes out a couple minutes later carrying a spear. It looks old, like a old, like worn but well kept spear, long spear. And you know, he stands there, like plants it in the ground, not in the ground, but like, you know, holds it up on the floor.
I lift myself up from my chair or from the bench with my staff and give him a hearty pat on the back. Why, you look the right adventurer type there, chap.
He says, hey, nobody believes a thing until somebody goes out and actually does the thing. If you're ready to face the dark outside, I'm ready to face the dark outside. You, halfling, you don't give any of these fools any discounts, especially those lot. And he like points at Aaron and his buddy. He says a lot, like there's more than two of them. You distinctly remember them being a band of 4 when they left you days ago. And he says,
I already have the towel over my shoulder. I'm like standing behind the bar.
On a box.
Nice.
So, halfling, what odds are you giving?
He gets a grin like he wants to say something, but he like makes it like a super overly serious face. I'm like, odds? We're not gambling on this possible new recruit to our band. I have faith he could do it. As I'm pouring a couple ales.
What makes you think I wasn't gonna bet on his success?
Yeah, and he's like, laugh it up. I'll show you all. Am I doing this by myself, or is the goblin coming with me?
The goblin holds up the water skin. Be my guest.
Yeah, he comes, stands over you, and like hesitates for a moment, snatches it out of your hand. He's like, ghost dogs. No ghost dogs in this town. And he stalks outside the door.
As soon as he's out the door, I take 2 ales over to Aaron and his buddy.
And I let Cloud in the door as soon as he leaves as well.
No. I go over to Nissel. Hey, send Cloud around to the front.
Yeah. Go lean out and tell Cloud to go around to the front.
Nice. Yeah. And Cloud like pads off into the dark as you see like Torin's like bulk disappearing into the dark as he steps out the door.
Drink fast.
Wait, Cloud. Wait. Nissel freaks out and runs outside until Cloud come back.
Codependency of you and this wolf.
He can't do it. He immediately makes a circle of pee around him to protect him.
Nice. Yeah. So while he's gone, what are you doing? You give Aaron and his other soldier buddy mug of ale each.
Yeah.
From Torin's stores.
Offling, you got any more of that famous soup of yours?
I got plenty, and I run off and grab
that famous soup.
Sweet.
I grab another bowl and bring it out.
Yeah.
Much obliged. Put it on my tab.
If you want, anybody who
Nissel would fill up all of his food and water if he could.
I was gonna say if you've spent food, like, yeah, there's food stores that you can fill up. There's not a whole lot here. There's probably enough for everybody to get 2 units.
I'm not taking any because I'm already full up. So
Yeah,
has
I'm
my
assuming
2
I'm
units.
already full up.
You can have up
Take-
to a D12. So it goes
I'll
D6,
take their portion.
D8, D10, then D12, and that's as much.
Can I get myself up to a D12?
Yeah. Because you're at what? You start at what? D8?
I'm at an 8, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Oh,
you've
yeah.
got two units now. Yeah.
I'm
you can-
I am never below getting food and water where I can.
that's right.
I'm surviving.
Umlaut does not. He thinks that the barkeep is an idiot, but like that doesn't make Umlaut a thief.
Fair.
As Nissel's using that leather hat to scoop into the bowl and drink.
It is.
I feel like you're sideways calling us thieves here. Used to.
Actually, when Umlaut says that, I'll go. I'll feel bad and like I'll pour half my water out because I filled half my water skin. I'll go back and pour half my water into whatever I got the water out of, this container.
Umlaut slaps 2 copper on the counter and heads to one of the rooms.
Okay.
Or like, I guess it's the dormitory. 'cause
Yeah.
he's not paying for his very own room.
No, you're paying for the cheap beds.
How much is a single room?
Is it a silver?
I can't remember. I just saw that there was the cheap one and was like, that's what we're doing. It is
What's the biggest room they have?
separate room is 5 copper.
Yeah. Yeah,
A
and that's
fine dwelling is 2 silver.
no. It's there's no fine dwelling here. A separate room is the best you can do. It's 3 copper for sleeping in the basically the flop house, right? The common room or the dormitory or
It's 2 for that one. Or was
was
it 2? No, it was 3. You're right.
yeah, 3 or 5 copper depending on
As-
whether you
as-
want your own room or not.
As soon as Umlaut kind of makes that comment too about not being a thief or even just like acting like Arlen kind of realizes what he's doing and his expression darkens and he'll hustle over to the window just to watch Torin and make sure he's doing.
Yeah, I'm
okay.
gonna. I'm keeping an eye on Torin the whole way.
There's no lights outside. Like no torches are burning.
No starlight, no moonlight.
Nissa will take a look at the possible spot where he last saw him, since you can see in the dark.
I'm gonna get a roll from you here in just a second.
Okay.
As everybody starts feeling bad, except maybe Tornald.
I don't feel bad about
you
this. He kind of,
Yeah.
his decision.
The 2 soldiers like while everybody's kind of distracted with putting their own stuff away, you could see them like give each other a look and then look around and then like do their best to subtly like grab some of the food and like stick it in pockets. And then like turn around and try and make a show of like, thanking Arland for the beers that they gave him. So Nissel, you want to poke your head out and take a look to see what you can see.
What's going on with these ghost dogs?
Sure. You can't really see like out, like just like looking through a window, right? Like you actually have to go out and for your night vision, like you can't have the light interfering. So, but you could definitely like be like just outside the door, right?
Does the door have to be closed?
At least mostly closed. You could probably crack it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, the Nissa will quietly as possible creak open that door and shuffle his little goblin hiney out there.
All right. So you're out there. You're out there taking a
Put
look.
his wet soup hat back on.
Speaking of the Shadow Hounds,
Yeah, you want to make a scout test to see if you can see what's going on outside.
I don't want to anymore now that you made it seem all ominous and shit.
Oh, that's
Not good. It's not bad. I push it, I guess. I'm gonna push. Nissa will.
Jesus, that's lots of dice, but only one success.
only one success.
Nissa
it's
will,
real.
Do you want?
will keep his little claw on that cracked door, but he'll edge himself out further and try to get further away from that
Yeah.
light that he hates so much to get.
Yeah, and you can hear something. Like you hear two things in the darkness before you can see anything. I just want to frame this before you push your roll if you choose to.
Yeah.
You can hear the muttering of Torin, right? And then it's less of what you do here and more what you don't. Normally this time of year, this time of night, you should be hearing crickets and frogs and like night birds, right?
Yeah.
And it is deathly quiet aside from the portly innkeeper's like feet crunching on the gravel outside, and like you can hear the sounds of like the bucket as he like drops it down into the well. And I mean you can see there's a few, like, yeah, I don't know, 1,000 feet away or something. Like it's I didn't bother like making this map to scale. It's a little ways away, but you can see him there in the dark. His shape because you can because you have those nocturnal eyes. But yeah, do you want to push your roll?
Yeah.
Hey! Oh.
Nice. So yes, you do see. Thanks to your night vision, you can see a group of shadowy shapes, like stalking around the edges, like in the gaps between the surrounding buildings, and you catch just the faintest glimpse of these pale white eyes, like suddenly like blink out. They don't look entirely unlike clouds. Only instead of being that like wolfish amber, they're like the same color as a full moon. And you see them briefly reflect. And you take 1 point of damage to your wits.
Is it scary?
Because it's scary, and like you hear the sloshing as Torin pulls up begins to pull up the bucket from the well, and then this like soft ululating howl like starts at a very low volume and then picks up and gets louder and louder as you see these shapes like dart out, aiming for the poor chunk of meat that's standing over by the well. Those of you who are inside can also like you probably don't hear it like quite as early as Nissel does being inside. But it's like one of those sounds that like makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up.
Shit.
Fuck me.
Are there torches in here?
What do you there's not torches, but there's lanterns.
I'm gonna snag a lantern and start running out.
Yeah, I take his lead and I grab a lantern too and go out there. I kind of feel slightly guilty about maybe convincing him to go out on his own.
Umlaut's sleeping. He's very tired.
Oh, that's right. Because Umlaut was sleepy. Excellent. It's 10:02. Should we take a short break? As the like.
Oh god. As two of Nissel's standing there fearful for a moment until two of, like always, Arlen goes rushing into danger. And then there's a wolf guy that runs past him, and at first he thinks it's Cloud, and he's like, no. And then Cloud's just sitting beside him with his tail wagging.
Right. So we'll take 10 here, and then we'll come back and we'll see how this.
Don't pause video.
Yeah, don't pause your video.
Pause video.
Yeah. We'll go to the break screen, and if you need to get up, just put something in front of your camera or something. But yeah, we will be right back in 10.
After these messages. All right.